What's up, design family, and welcome back to another episode of FittBite, the mini series on the Fittdesign podcast, where we take bite-sized pieces of the Fittdesign content that you love and distill them down to you into easy to understand bite-sized segments. On today's episode, we'll be looking at the 5 key types of necklines that you should be considering for sportswear design. With so many different types of necklines to choose from, where does one begin? Well, in this FittBite, that's exactly what we'll be discussing. We'll be looking at the 5 key necklines, starting off with the crew neck collar. The crew neck collar, or otherwise referred to as the new neck collar, is referred to as such because it was commonly worn by rowmen aboard rowing vessels. Also, the crew neck was popularized in the American football space, often worn as the crew neck or the collar of choice for the undergarment layer that's worn underneath pads. These garments were intended to provide comfort and support for the wearers, at the same time to prevent against chafing from the heavy pads. The crew neck collar is one of the most common collar types we see in sportswear. It's a very versatile but performance-oriented fit. It's neither too tight nor too loose. It's characterized by a fit that goes from the edge of your neckline, pretty much where your shoulder inserts into the neck, across the front, not dropping too high or not dropping too low, pretty much sitting level with your front bone pieces. This type of fit is extremely comfortable and versatile for pretty much any situation. It's also a look that works both in the casual space and the performance space. Definitely consider a crew neck collar if you're looking to create a performance-based item. This is one way to create a fit that just works and a fit that's not going to be uncomfortable during high-intensity training sessions. Next, we'll look at the V-neck collar. This is a neckline that's characterized with 2 diagonal lines that swoop down to meet at the center of the upper chest. This neckline gets its start in the Middle Eastern region and was often seen on traditional garments from the past. V necklines can come in a variety of different depths. Some can be considered a plunge neckline if they're too low. If you add an additional horizontal piece, this turns it into what's known as a trapeze neckline, and the different variations also give this neckline a lot of flexibility. It's a very fashion-forward neckline and one that can be used equally on both men and women's garments. We would definitely recommend looking at a V-neck neckline if you want to add a little bit of flair to your garment. It's the type of neckline that's extremely suitable for both genders, and when it comes to choosing the right fit, you have a lot of flexibility to pick a depth or a shape for the neckline that works for your customer base. This is something that can't be said about other types of necklines where you just have less variety. Next up, we have the boat or the bateau neckline, otherwise referred to as the Sabrina neckline. This is quite a fashion-forward neckline, and when it comes to activewear and sportswear, we've definitely seen a crossover between ready-to-wear garments and the sportswear space over the last couple of years. This is a great way to bring in a fashion-forward look to your collection and to create a little bit of versatility and femininity to the product. This is not necessarily a neckline that I would use on men's items because it doesn't do well to frame the shoulders, and the high front neckline also can be quite unflattering to the male physique. The bateau neckline is framed when it comes to a long or an elongated fit from shoulder to shoulder. Pretty much the edge of the collars hit at the tops of the shoulder blades. These necklines can also be quite unsupportive, so we definitely would not recommend them for performance-based apparel. Do bear in mind that if you're going to incorporate the boat neckline, that you know your target audience, and you understand that the fit that is required is not necessarily one that will work with a variety of different materials or a variety of different fit types. We'd recommend this neckline for a garment that is on the relaxed side. Should you wish to incorporate a wider neckline onto male-based garments, then you can definitely consider the scoop neck. The scoop neck is similar to the boat neckline in its width. From edge of collar to edge of collar, it hits at right above the collarbones, and sometimes extends even beyond that depending on the specifics of that garment. However, the scoop hits not at the upper neckline, but it does go deeper and hits right above the upper chest. This is an extremely flattering fit if the physique is something that it can complement. It's a great way to reveal the upper chest muscles and to give a much more casual look to your garments. It's not necessarily everyone's preferred look, however, it can definitely be dressed up and dressed down accordingly. It's a casual look and a great way to bring a lifestyle element into your collection. Last but not least is the oval neckline. This is a great female-focused fit and one that works on slightly relaxed garments. The oval neckline is similar to the crew neck in terms of where it begins. However, it does drop deeper on the front neckline, revealing a little bit more of the front chest portion. It's certainly a much more feminine look and one that can be incorporated into both casual and performance-based garments. Do bear in mind that not all performance-based garments have to have an extremely snug fitting neckline. Depending on the material that you're using and the overall functionality of the garment, you can incorporate much more relaxed necklines, and this is definitely one that we would recommend to bring in a little bit more of a fashion element into your performance-based apparel. Would we recommend an oval neckline for male-based garments? Probably not, as the fit is not as flattering for a male. In order to recap, we've looked at 5 key necklines when it comes to sportswear design. The V neckline, the crew neckline, the scoop, the boat, and the oval neckline. Always consider your target customer and the context in which your garments are going to be used. Of course, there are a variety of different necklines out there that extend far beyond what we've discussed on this episode of FittBite. However, these are the key types that we've noticed and that we've seen are most appropriate for the sportswear space. If you guys enjoyed this episode of FittBite, please consider leaving us a review. It really does help us out tremendously and lets us know what you liked and what you didn't like about the episode. Thanks again, guys, for tuning into this episode, and until next time, stay awesome.